The San Diego Padres are one of baseball's most interesting teams, as coming into the year they were expected to be a powerhouse, but up to this point they have been everything but that. They currently sit at 55 and 56, which is good for 4th place in the National League West. But over their last 30 games, they have picked it up as they are 18 and 12, which brings me to today's video. I want to go over the Padres roster top to bottom and go over whether I think they are contenders or not. Now, as a team, offensively, the Padres aren't all that bad, as they currently have a 744 team OPS, which ranks 12th, and 144 home runs, which ranks 9th. This offense has been led by Juan Soto, who on the year is hitting .279 with 24 home runs and 6 stolen bases. Fernando Tatis Jr. is back and looks like himself this year, as he's hitting .264 with 19 home runs and 17 stolen bases. Manny Machado got off to a very cold start, but has been hot as of late, as on the year he's hitting .259 with 21 home runs and 65 runs driven in. Xander Bogaerts has been okay, but not great, as he's hitting .268 with 11 home runs and 12 stolen bases. Ha-Sung Kim has arguably been the best offensive player in this lineup, as he's hitting .289 with 15 home runs and 24 stolen bases. Jake Cronenworth hasn't been great, but he has been a staple in this lineup, as on the year he's only hitting .224 with 8 home runs and 6 stolen bases. Gary Sanchez, who they picked up a few months back, has been a pleasant surprise behind the plate, as he is only hitting .216, but he does have 14 home runs on the year. Trent Grisham hasn't been great offensively, as he's only hitting .214 with 11 home runs and 11 stolen bases, but he has been great defensively in the outfield. And we can't forget about their recent pickup from the Marlins and Garrett Cooper, who is a pretty solid offensive bat, as on the year he's hitting .256 with 13 home runs. So as I said, this offense is pretty good. I don't necessarily think it has potential to be top 3 in baseball, but they're very serviceable, and I think the pickup of Garrett Cooper is going to prove to be a very underrated pickup. Now, getting onto their pitching, this is what has been keeping the Padres afloat so far, as they currently have a 3.72 team ERA, which ranks 1st in all of baseball. Looking at the starting rotation, I want to start with Blake Snell, who got off to an extremely slow start, but since that slow start, he's been pitching like a Cy Young candidate, as all in all, in 124 innings, he's posted a 2.61 ERA with 164 strikeouts. They have another solid arm in Yu Darvish, who has been inconsistent on the year, as in 114 innings, he's posted a 4.41 ERA with 121 strikeouts. Joe Musgrove unfortunately just sustained a shoulder injury that's going to keep him out close to a month, but prior to the injury, he was great, as in 97 innings, he had a 3.05 ERA. Michael Wacha has been out for over a month at this point, and prior to his injury, he was also very productive, as in 86 innings, he had a 2.84 ERA. Seth Lugo has filled in nicely in this rotation, as in 89 innings on the year, he has a 3.54 ERA with 88 strikeouts. They just picked up another arm at the deadline in Rich Hill from the Pirates, who on the year hasn't been too great, but he's definitely going to give you some solid innings, as in 119 innings, he has a 4.76 ERA. So this rotation is very talented. They are going to miss Joe Musgrove, but with Michael Wacha returning soon and the pickup of Rich Hill, I think this rotation will be able to stay afloat in the next couple of weeks while Musgrove is sidelined. And moving on to their bullpen, it is middle of the pack, as they currently have a 3.89 bullpen ERA, which ranks 14th. Josh Hader has arguably been a top 3 closer in baseball, as in 41 innings he has 26 saves to go along with a .89 ERA. Outside of Josh Hader, they picked up Scott Barlow from the Royals at the deadline, who I think is a pretty good pickup. No, he's not pitching great this year, but he does have high leverage experience, which I think is something that the San Diego bullpen was lacking outside of Hader. And they have a few other arms in this bullpen who are expected to contribute down the stretch in Nick Martinez, Steven Wilson, and Tom Cosgrove. So as I said, this bullpen is pretty good. It's not great, but I think they're going to be able to get the job done down the stretch, especially picking up Scott Barlow from the Royals. So now that we went through this roster top to bottom, let's go over whether or not I think the Padres are legit contenders. As I mentioned before, the Padres over their past 30 games have been one of the best teams in baseball, as they're 18 and 12. And this hot stretch has gotten them within 3 games of the Cincinnati Reds for the final wildcard spot in the National League. And with how good this roster is and with how much potential they have, I think it is very realistic to say they have a legit shot at the final wildcard spot. After all, the 4 teams that they would have to pass, and I know 4 is a lot of teams to pass, those 4 teams aren't necessarily powerhouses, as those teams are the Reds, the Diamondbacks, the Cubs, and the Marlins. As much as I like all 4 of those teams, they are not quite on the level of talent of the San Diego Padres. And if they do get to the postseason, I absolutely think they are capable of making noise similar to last year. And another thing I want to mention about the Padres is the fact that they have a plus 75 run differential, which is 3rd in the National League, only behind the Dodgers and the Braves. So this Padre team is a lot better than their 55-56 record would suggest. So to officially answer the question, yes, I do think the Padres are legit contenders, and I think they have the potential to even wipe out the Braves and Dodgers and make a World Series run. Let me know what you guys think of the Padres down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.